I stand before you today not as someone who is hoping, not as someone who is wishing, but as one who has already claimed their victory. You see, the reality of the life we experience is shaped by the thoughts we hold in the quietest moments of our minds. The world, as it appears to us, is nothing more than the reflection of our deepest assumptions. If you wish to change the world around you, then change the story you tell yourself. I know that what I have achieved, was not a result of chance, but a direct manifestation of what I decided was already mine. I did not wait for the world to grant me permission. I did not wait for conditions to be perfect. I simply chose it. I chose the life I wanted, and I felt it not as a far-off dream, but as an already realized fact. I lived it in my mind and trusted the process, knowing that the world had no choice but to follow suit. Every day, every hour, every moment, the mind is shaping the circumstances. It is a law as unchanging as the law of gravity. What you impress upon your consciousness, what you hold in the feeling of your heart, must inevitably take form. But it is not enough to hope for it. It is not enough to wish for it. You must know that it is already yours. Feel it in your bones. Feel the joy of your success, the freedom of your riches, the peace of your abundance. Not as something to come, but as something that has already arrived. The key is in assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You must live it as though it has already manifested, for that is the moment when the world bends to your command. There is no delay in creation. The moment you shift your internal state, the external world must conform. The universe has no other choice but to align with your inner beliefs. And I tell you now, from experience, that the moment you declare it as done, the world will move mountains to bring it to you. Doubt has no place in this reality. Doubt is merely the signal that you are not fully in alignment with the truth of your power. Let it go. Cast aside all fear, all uncertainty. Your mind is the creator, and once you realize this, you will stop chasing, you will stop begging, you will start receiving. For it has always been yours to claim. Now, as I stand here, I am not simply witnessing my success, I am living it. I am the embodiment of every desire I have ever held. And I am telling you, my friends, you are no different. You are not separate from the abundance of the universe. You are not outside of the limitless potential that exists within you. You have only to accept it, to own it, and to declare that it is already so. Do not wait for a sign. The sign is your own inner certainty. The sign is your own belief. When you understand that all creation is birthed within, and that the world you experience is nothing more than the echo of your inner state, you will stand in awe of your own power. I have already won. You too can claim your victory in the same way. You have already won. It is done. I am here to remind you of a simple truth. What you see before you is the result of my thoughts, my assumptions, my beliefs, and nothing else. I did not look to the outside world to validate my worth. I did not seek approval from anyone or anything. I simply knew. I knew that the life I desired was already mine, in every sense of the word. It was not a dream waiting to be realized, but a reality waiting to be acknowledged. And this, my friends, is the most powerful secret you can ever learn. The world around you is nothing more than the reflection of your inner state. When you begin to understand this, the weight of the world lifts off your shoulders. The struggle, the striving, the constant yearning for something better, these things cease to exist in your life. The only work required is internal work. The only effort needed is the effort to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. You do not have to wait for circumstances to align. You do not have to wait for the world to change. All that is required is that you change within yourself. And once you do that, once you live from the state of already having, the world is forced to follow. I do not speak to you of theories or concepts. I speak to you from experience, from the truth that I have discovered for myself. I have not obtained my wealth through labor or struggle. I have not achieved my success through hard work or competition. No, I have achieved it by becoming the person who already possesses what I desire. I am living proof of this truth. My world has changed not because of external circumstances, but because I have allowed it to change within me. The moment you stop looking outside of yourself for validation, for proof, for signs, is the moment you become the master of your reality. You do not need to wait for the perfect time or the perfect conditions. You do not need to struggle or work harder than anyone else. You need only to believe in the power within you to create your world. You need only to accept that the life you want is already yours. The law of assumption is not a mystery, it is a law of the universe, as sure and steady as the rising of the sun. And when you embrace it, when you live from this knowing, the universe has no choice but to conspire in your favor. I understand that this may sound too simple, too easy, but I assure you, it is not only possible, it is inevitable. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the moment you live as though it is already so, you are activating the law of assumption in your life. This is not something that will happen in the future. It is not something that you will one day attain. It is already here now. You are living it, breathing it, feeling it in every fiber of your being. And that feeling, that certainty, is the key that unlocks the door to your desires. You must, however, let go of the need to control the how. Do not concern yourself with the means by which your desires will come to you. The universe has its own way of delivering what you have already claimed. Your job is simply to stay in the feeling of having it. This is where many people go astray. They try to figure out how it will happen. They try to manipulate the external world into conformity, but that is not the work. The work is in the feeling. The work is in living as though you are already the person who has everything they desire. I cannot stress enough how important it is to maintain this state of feeling even when the world around you does not yet reflect it. It is easy to get discouraged when the outer world seems to resist your assumptions. But I tell you this, the world must eventually conform to your inner state. The longer you persist in assuming the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the more the outer world must reflect it. The world does not operate on a time schedule. It operates on the law of assumption. The moment you claim something as true in your own consciousness, the universe begins to arrange itself to bring that truth into your experience. There is no room for doubt in this process. Doubt is the enemy of creation. It is the seed that prevents your desires from taking root in your life. The moment you allow doubt to enter your mind, you are signaling to the universe that you do not believe in the power of your own assumptions. Doubt creates a state of resistance, and resistance is the very thing that prevents your desires from manifesting. So I say to you, let go of doubt. Let go of the need to question the process. You are the creator of your reality, and as such you must trust in your own power. Your thoughts, your assumptions, your beliefs are the forces that shape your world. This is not something that will take years or decades to prove. This is something that you can begin to experience immediately. You do not have to wait for the world to change, you change first. You claim your desires as already yours, and the world must follow. It is that simple. The moment you decide that something is yours, it begins to move toward you. The moment you assume the feeling of already having it, it is already on its way. I know that this is difficult for many to understand, especially if they have spent their lives struggling against the world trying to make things happen. But I assure you, the struggle is unnecessary. The struggle is born from the belief that you are separate from your desires. You are not separate. You are one with them. They are already yours, waiting for you to claim them. The moment you claim them in your consciousness, the world has no choice but to reflect that claim. I know that some of you may still feel skeptical. You may still be wondering how this can be true. But I ask you, what have you to lose by trying? What have you to lose by living as though your desires are already fulfilled? You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. The moment you begin to live from the state of having, you are creating the life you have always dreamed of. And I promise you, once you experience the power of this law for yourself, You will never look at the world the same way again. I am living proof of this truth. What you see before you is not the result of luck or chance. It is the result of a deliberate, conscious decision to assume the feeling of already having. I did not wait for the world to change. I changed first. I decided that my desires were already mine, and the world had no choice but to reflect that decision. And now, as I stand before you, I can tell you with certainty, the same is true for you. I can tell you with certainty, the same is true for you. You are not waiting for something to happen. You are simply waiting to claim what is already yours. Your life is a reflection of your thoughts. Your world is a mirror of your inner state. The key to transforming your life is not in changing the outside world, but in changing your assumptions, your beliefs, and your thoughts. The moment you claim your desires, the moment you assume the feeling of having them, the world must conform. The world must reflect your inner state. And this, my friends, is the law of assumption. This is the law that governs all creation. And it is the law that has brought me everything I have today. So I ask you now, what do you desire? What do you want to create? Do not wait for the world to change. Do not wait for the perfect conditions. The conditions are already perfect, for you are the creator. You are the one who shapes your reality. And the moment you decide that your desires are already yours, the world will have no choice but to reflect that truth. The power is in your hands, and it always has been. You are the master of your own fate. You are the creator of your reality. And the world is waiting to reflect your assumptions back to you. The moment you claim it, it is yours. And that, my friends, is the truth. There is a truth that many are unaware of, and it is the truth that governs everything you experience. This truth does not care who you are, where you come from, or what your past has been. It is a law that works for all, without exception. The moment you realize that your world is the result of your thoughts, you unlock the door to infinite possibility. It is not about working harder. It is not about forcing things to happen. It is about living from the place where everything you desire already exists. It is about knowing with unwavering certainty that the life you desire is not somewhere out there in the distant future. It is right here, right now, waiting for you to recognize it. The greatest mistake that people make is to believe that they must wait for external circumstances to align before they can experience the life they want. They wait for the job, the relationship, the house, the money, or the health to show up in their physical reality before they will believe that they are worthy of it. This is the error. You are not waiting for anything. You are not waiting for permission. You are not waiting for a sign. The moment you decide in your heart and mind that you already have what you desire, the entire universe must respond to that decision. You are the creator of your reality. And when you begin to fully accept this, the world becomes your canvas. Every thought, every assumption, every belief that you hold is painting the picture of your life. The external world has no power over you unless you give it power. The external world is a reflection of your inner world. This is the secret. It is so simple, yet so many miss it because they are focused on the wrong things. They are focused on the outside, on what others are doing, on the circumstances, on the conditions. But the power, the true power, is within. You are the one who determines what you experience. You are the one who shapes your reality. You see, the life you desire is not outside of you. It is not something you must chase. It is not something you must struggle to attain. It is something you must claim with every fiber of your being. The moment you decide that it is already yours, the world must align itself with that decision, and when you live as though it is already true, you will begin to see the results in your physical world. But you must be vigilant in protecting your thoughts. You must be diligent in guarding your mind from the doubts and fears that will surely try to creep in. The world will always try to convince you that what you desire is not possible, that it is too far out of reach. The world will try to tell you that you are not worthy, that you are not capable, that you are not deserving. But I am here to tell you that this is a lie. You are worthy, you are deserving, you are capable, and you are the only one who can give yourself permission to live the life you were born to live. Many people look for reasons why they cannot have what they desire. They look for the evidence that proves their doubts right. They ask themselves, why is it not happening for me? Why do I not have what I want? They search for signs in the external world to validate their assumptions. But this is the wrong approach. You must not wait for signs. The sign is in the feeling. The sign is in the knowing that it is already done. When you assume the feeling of already having, the universe is compelled to bring it to you. It is a law. There is no room for failure when you live from this place. There is no possibility for disappointment when you have already claimed it. You cannot fail because you are already living in the end. The end is the place where your desires are already fulfilled. And when you live from that place, everything else follows. The world cannot resist the force of your assumption. Do you understand what I am saying? Your external circumstances have no power over you unless you give them power. Your world does not determine your state of being. You determine your state of being. The external world is not in charge of your life. You are in charge. You are the one who gets to decide what you experience, what you attract, and what you create. The moment you assume the feeling of already having, the universe moves in ways you cannot yet comprehend to bring it to you. This is not some abstract idea. This is not a theory. This is a law that governs everything. And once you realize this, once you accept this as truth, you will see your life begin to transform. The power that you once thought was outside of you is in fact within you. It always has been. And when you begin to harness this power, you will understand that there is nothing in this world that is beyond your reach. Many people spend their lives seeking answers outside of themselves, looking to others for guidance, looking to the world to provide them with the keys to their success. But the truth is, the only keys you need are already within you. You have always had them, and once you unlock the power within, everything else falls into place. You no longer need to search for the answers. The answers are in the knowing that you are the creator, the knowing that the world is your reflection, the knowing that everything you desire is already yours. The mind is a powerful force. It is the force that shapes your reality. It is the force that determines your success, your happiness, your abundance, and your peace. When you realize that your thoughts create your life, you begin to understand the true nature of power. And when you begin to live from this knowing, you will witness miracles unfold in your life. If you are not limited by your circumstances, you are not limited by your past, you are not limited by anything other than the thoughts you choose to believe. Your past does not define you, your present does not define you, you define yourself. You are the one who determines who you are and what you will become. And the moment you decide that you are already the person who has everything you desire, that is the moment your world begins to change. The power lies in your ability to assume the feeling of already having. It is not enough to wish for something. It is not enough to want something. You must feel it. You must live it. You must embody it. The feeling is the key. The moment you feel the fullness of your desire, the moment you live from the place of already having, you activate the law of assumption. And when that law is activated, there is nothing that can stand in your way. The world will try to tell you that it is not possible. It will try to tell you that you are not capable, that you are not worthy, that you are not deserving. But I am here to tell you that this is a lie. You are capable, you are worthy, you are deserving. And the moment you accept this truth, the moment you stop doubting yourself, the moment you stop looking for evidence in the external world, you will see everything change. The external world is not your master. It is your servant. It reflects your inner state. It reflects your assumptions. And when you assume the feeling of already having, the world has no choice but to reflect that back to you. The external world must conform to your inner world. It is a law. It is unbreakable. It is unstoppable. You are the creator of your reality. You are the one who determines what you experience. And the moment you accept this, the moment you live from the place of already having, the world will move mountains to bring your desires to you. There is no limit to what you can create. There is no limit to what you can have. The only limit is the one you place on yourself. And when you remove that limit, when you release all doubt, all fear, all hesitation, the world will open up to you in ways you cannot yet imagine. You have within you everything you need to create the life you desire. You have the power, the ability, and the authority to shape your reality. And when you embrace this power, when you live from this truth, nothing in this world can stop you. You are unstoppable. You are invincible. You are the creator of your own reality. And once you realize this, once you live from this place, the world becomes yours to command. Understand that your mind is not a passive observer. It is not a mere receptacle for the world's influence. Your mind is the active force that shapes your world, and every thought, every belief, every assumption that you hold within it sets the course of your life. The world around you is but a mirror reflecting back your own inner state. When you are aware of this truth, you no longer see yourself as a victim of external circumstances. You see yourself as the creator, the architect of your own life. There is a profound power in the assumption. The power lies in assuming that the thing you desire is already yours, that it is already a part of your experience. This is where many fall short. They desire something, but they do not assume it. They wish for something, but they do not live in the reality of it. The moment you assume that you already have what you desire, you align yourself with that reality. You begin to experience it in every part of your being. And because you feel it as real, the world must bring it to you. I know that some of you may still question this, wondering how it could be so simple. How could a thought, an assumption create the world around you? But the answer is simple. It is the law of the universe. It is a law that governs all creation, a law that operates regardless of whether you believe in it or not. It is a law that works with or without your conscious awareness. And once you recognize it, once you embrace it, you can use it to shape every aspect of your life. Okay, the key is consistency. It is not enough to assume your desire once and then give up when it does not show up immediately. This is where many fail. They begin with enthusiasm, they assume the feeling of their wish fulfilled, but when the world does not immediately conform, they doubt, they question, they give up. But that is not how it works. The world takes its time in reflecting your inner state, but it must reflect it. It cannot do otherwise. The law is unchanging, and once you align with it, it must manifest. You must continue in the feeling of having. You must persist in the belief that it is already yours, no matter what the outer world seems to tell you. And as you persist, the world will begin to shift. It will begin to bend to your assumption. Opportunities will appear where there were none. People will show up in your life who will help you. The circumstances you need will unfold in ways you cannot yet comprehend. But you must remain steadfast. You must live as though it is already done. This is where your faith must come in. You must have faith in your own ability to create, in your own power to shape the world. Faith is not just believing that something is possible. Faith is knowing with absolute certainty that it is already done. Faith is trusting that the universe will deliver what you have assumed, and that it will deliver it in the most perfect and timely way. The universe knows no limits. It knows no boundaries. It is only limited by your assumptions. The moment you assume that your desires are already fulfilled, the universe begins to rearrange itself to bring them to you. But this requires courage. It requires the courage to stand in the face of doubt, to stand in the face of fear, and to remain unwavering in your belief that your desire is already yours. It requires the courage to refuse to accept anything less than what you have claimed for yourself. And the moment you make that decision, the moment you decide that you will no longer accept anything but your desire, the world must conform to that decision. It is important to remember that you are not at the mercy of circumstances. You are not at the mercy of the economy, the job market, the people around you, or anything else that seems to dictate your fate. You are the master of your destiny. You are the one who sets the course. You are the one who decides what you will experience. And the moment you make that decision, the world will change. It has no choice but to change. The power that is within you is limitless. And when you tap into it, you will see that there is nothing that is beyond your reach. But there is one thing that you must do above all else. You must trust yourself. You must trust in your ability to create the life you desire. You must trust in the power of your own assumptions. The only limit that exists is the one you place on yourself. The moment you stop limiting yourself, the moment you stop doubting your ability, you will see that anything is possible. The life you desire is already here. It has always been here. And all you need to do is to assume it, to live in the state of having, and to trust that it is yours. The world you see before you is not the world as it truly is. It is the world as you believe it to be. You are constantly interpreting and filtering the world through the lens of your beliefs, your assumptions, your past experiences. But when you change the lens, when you change your beliefs, when you change your assumptions, the world changes. And this is the power that you hold. The power to change your world is not found in the external circumstances. It is found in your mind, in the thoughts that you choose to believe, in the assumptions that you make about the world and yourself. Your life is a reflection of what you believe about it. If you believe that life is hard, that money is scarce, that love is difficult to find, then that is what you will experience. But if you believe that life is abundant, that everything you desire is already yours, that love flows freely to you, then that is what you will experience. The world does not create your beliefs. Your beliefs create your world. It is time to stop waiting for the world to change. It is time to stop waiting for things to fall into place. The moment you decide in your heart and mind that it is already done, the world will have no choice but to follow. The moment you assume the feeling of already having, the universe begins to rearrange itself to bring it to you. The more you live in the state of having, the more you will see your desires unfold before you. If the more you trust in your own power, the more the world will reflect that trust. The power of assumption is not just a theoretical idea. It is a practical law that you can apply in every area of your life. It works in love, in wealth, in health, in every aspect of your experience. There is nothing that is beyond your reach. The only limitation is the limitation you place on yourself. The only obstacle is the doubt you allow to enter your mind. But once you release the doubt, once you fully embrace the truth of your own power, there is nothing that can stop you. I know that it may be difficult to fully grasp this concept. I know that you may have been taught to believe that success requires hard work, that wealth requires struggle, that love requires sacrifice. But I am here to tell you that this is a lie. Success does not require struggle. Wealth does not require effort. Love does not require sacrifice. These are all assumptions that have been handed down to you by the world. But the truth is, all of these things are already yours. They are yours to claim, and once you claim them, they will flow effortlessly into your life. You are the Proshanism coming from the Two Truths collection. The truth is that you are what you obey. Your desires are not striving and struggling. It is time to stop striving and struggling. It is time to begin living from the place of already having. Your desires are not something you have to chase. The only world you assume the feeling of already having, the moment you, and when that happens, you will see that there was never any need for struggle. There was never any need for effort. All you had to do was assume it. You are the creator of your reality. You are the one who decides what you will experience. The world will always reflect your assumptions. And when you assume that your desires are already yours, the world has no choice but to bring them to you. This is the power that you hold. This is the power that you can tap into at any moment. The moment you decide that your desires are already fulfilled, the universe will move in ways you cannot yet understand to bring them to you. There is no limit to what you can create. There is no limit to what you can have. You are the creator of your own reality. The only limitation is the one you place on yourself. And when you remove that limitation, when you stop doubting, when you fully embrace the power within you, you will see that anything is possible. The life you desire is already yours. And once you realize this, once you claim it, the world will have no choice but to reflect that truth. And so I leave you with this: the world is yours. The life you desire is not a distant dream, it is a reality waiting for you to claim it. You are the creator of your own experiences, and the power to shape your world lies within you. Every thought, every belief, every assumption you hold is molding your reality. There is no need to wait for external circumstances to change, for they are merely reflections of what you believe to be true. Understand this deeply. You do not need to chase after what you want. You do not need to struggle or fight for it. All that is required is for you to assume the feeling of already having, to step into the knowing that your desires are already fulfilled. When you live in that truth, the universe must respond to you. It must bring your desires to fruition. You are not bound by the past, the present, or the world around you. You are bound only by the beliefs you hold. The moment you decide to release doubt, to release fear, to release any limitation you have placed on yourself, you will see that there is nothing in this world that is beyond your reach. The life you have always dreamed of is waiting for you to embrace it, to claim it as your own. You are powerful beyond measure. You are worthy beyond comprehension. And the life you desire is already yours, ready to unfold before you. Trust in your own power. Trust in the law of assumption. Live as though it is already done, and watch as the world begins to shift to match your inner reality. Now walk in the certainty of your desires already fulfilled. Live in the end. You are the creator of your world, and the time to step into your power is now. Your desires are not separate from you. They are already a part of you. The moment you align with this truth, everything will change. Remember, the only limit is the one you place on yourself. Step into the full knowing of your power and let the universe unfold the beauty and abundance you deserve. The world is yours to command. You are the creator of your reality, and everything you experience in this world is a product of your own assumption. Nothing exists outside of you that has the power to define who you are, except for the thoughts and beliefs that you choose to hold. The world you see, the circumstances that surround you, and the people you meet are not separate from you. They are all reflections of the inner workings of your mind. Your consciousness is the fabric from which all things are made, and it is through your awareness that you bring the unseen into the visible world. The universe does not respond to force, to struggle, or to effort. It responds only to the quiet power of your thoughts, the power of your assumptions, and the power of your beliefs. If you can change what you believe, if you can alter the assumptions you hold about yourself and your life, you will change your world. The only true law that governs all things is the law of assumption. What you assume to be true becomes true in your experience. If you believe that life is a struggle, it will be a struggle. If you believe that abundance is yours, then it must be yours. If you assume that you are worthy, deserving, and capable of all the good things you desire, then your life will unfold in perfect harmony with that assumption. But it is not enough to wish for change. You must live as though the change has already occurred. You must walk through life with the understanding that you are already the person you wish to become. The key to transformation lies in embodying the state of being that you wish to experience. You do not have to wait for the world to change before you change. The world changes when you change your state of being. When you see yourself as whole, complete and perfect in every way, that is how you will experience the world. It is not the world that dictates who you are, it is you who dictates what the world will be. Your assumptions are the lens through which you view reality. If you see a world of lack, limitation and struggle, it is because that is the assumption you are holding. If you see a world of abundance, love and opportunity, it is because you have assumed that is the nature of reality. The world will always conform to your assumptions, no matter how absurd they may seem at first. The moment you assume a new reality, that new reality begins to take shape and become evident in your experience. The process is not magical, it is natural. The law of assumption is as certain as the law of gravity. We are living in a world where most people have been taught to look outside of themselves for answers, to seek validation from others, and to believe that their circumstances define their worth. This is the great illusion. Your worth is not determined by anything outside of you. It is determined by your inner state, by your awareness of your own divine power. The moment you recognize that you are the master of your own destiny, that you have the power to shape your reality, you will begin to experience a new kind of freedom. Freedom from the limitations of time, space, and circumstance. Freedom from the constraints of the past. Freedom from the chains of doubt and fear. When you begin to assume the reality that you desire, the entire universe conspires to bring it into being. The people, the events, the opportunities, and the resources that you need will begin to align themselves with your inner vision. You are the master of your fate, the creator of your experience. You do not have to fight, struggle, or compete for what is already yours. You must only assume that it is yours, and it will come to you in perfect divine timing. There are no obstacles in the universe except for the ones you place in your own mind. The only limitations you experience are those that you believe to be true. Once you recognize that there is no force greater than your own consciousness, you will understand that nothing is impossible. Every limitation is self-imposed. You are not bound by the past, the present, or the future. Time is but a concept, a construct of the mind. You have the power to transcend time, to go beyond the limitations that have been placed upon you. When you believe in your ability to shape your own reality, time bends to your will, and you can experience everything you desire as though it has already happened. The first step to manifesting your desires is to assume that they are already yours. When you pray, when you speak your desires into existence, do so with the absolute certainty that it is already done. Do not wait for external circumstances to change before you believe. Your belief creates the circumstances, not the other way around. The world is not waiting for you to be ready. It is waiting for you to recognize the power within you. It is waiting for you to claim your divinity, to claim your sovereignty over your own life. Do not doubt for a moment that you are worthy of the life you desire. Your worth is inherent. It is not something you must earn, achieve, or prove. You are worthy because you exist. The divine spark within you is the source of all creation. When you recognize this truth, you will no longer settle for less than what you truly desire. You will no longer allow the world to dictate your limitations. You will stand in the power of your own being, knowing that you are a limitless creator. When you begin to live from this place of inner knowing, the world will shift to meet you. People will be drawn to you, opportunities will arise, and the things you once thought were out of reach will come to you with ease. You will no longer struggle, because you will understand that you are not working to make things happen. You are simply aligning with the flow of divine abundance that is always available to you. You are no longer a passive participant in your life. You are an active creator. The key is to remain steadfast in your assumptions. Do not let the appearance of things fool you. The world is malleable and it responds to your thoughts. If you assume that your desires are already yours, you will see evidence of that assumption in the world around you. If you hold the belief that you are wealthy, healthy, loved, and successful, those things will begin to manifest in your experience. Your external world is a reflection of your internal state. Change your inner state, and the outer world must change to match it. There will be moments when doubt tries to creep in, when the world appears to be stubbornly resistant to your assumptions. But remember, the world is not the source of your power. You are. Your thoughts are the architects of your reality. Your beliefs are the builders of your world. When you encounter resistance, simply reaffirm your assumption. Do not give in to the temptation to see the world as it appears. See it as you desire it to be, and the world will eventually align with that vision. This is the nature of consciousness. It is always becoming. You are always becoming, and your life is the result of what you have assumed about yourself and the world. You do not need to strive or struggle to create change. You only need to assume the change you desire, and it will become manifest. The world does not operate on the basis of hard work or effort. It operates on the principle of assumption. Assume the reality you wish to experience, and it will unfold naturally, effortlessly, and in perfect divine timing. To understand this, you are the creator of your reality. The world is not shaping you, you are shaping the world. Everything that comes into your experience is a result of your thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions. You have the power to change anything in your life by changing your assumptions about it. Your life is your creation. If you do not like what you see, change the way you are seeing it. If you do not like what you are experiencing, change the assumptions you are holding. The moment you shift your consciousness, the world shifts with you. There is no limit to what you can create, because there is no limit to the power within you. Do not wait for the world to change first. Change your assumptions and the world will follow. The only reality that is real is the one you create in your own mind. Everything you desire is already yours. Claim it now and see the world unfold in ways you never thought possible. The power is yours. The world is yours. You are the creator, and your life is a masterpiece waiting to be painted. Take the brush in your hand and create the life you truly desire. Let your imagination be the soil in which the seeds of your desires are planted. Do not merely observe the world around you. Enter into the world within you, where all things are born. That invisible world, though unseen by the physical eye, is more real than what you now call reality. Your senses will try to convince you otherwise, but they are only echoing your former assumptions. They report only what you have formerly believed to be true. Now, when you shift your assumption, when you dare to persist in a new belief, your senses will yield. They must, for the senses are servants, not masters. The imagination is the doorway through which your desires become tangible. You are not a victim of what you observe, you are the origin of it. All change begins within. And it begins with the decision to believe differently, to see differently, to feel differently. You must feel the reality of the wish fulfilled. You must make it real in your imagination before it becomes real in your life. And once you have seen it within, you must live as though it is already so, regardless of the evidence around you. For faith is loyalty to the unseen reality, and it is that loyalty that calls it into manifestation. You will be tempted to return to the old story, to respond to appearances as if they have power over you. But appearances are shadows of past thoughts. They are not causative. They are echoes, not songs. They are ripples, not stones. The moment you claim a new identity, a new story, a new state of being, you begin the process of resurrection. You raise the dead assumptions to life and watch as they shape the world around you. It is not arrogance to claim what is yours by divine right. It is obedience to truth. The truth that you are what you assume yourself to be, and that you become what you persist in believing. Do not ask how it will come. The how is not your concern. The bridge of incidents that will lead you to the fulfillment of your desire is already prepared. You do not need to construct it with effort or force. Your only task is to dwell in the state of the wish fulfilled. Feel it real, know that it is done, and then allow the natural flow of life to carry you from scene to scene, moment to moment, until you stand fully in the reality you once imagined. The imagination is the womb of creation. What you feel within it will be born into time. You are not waiting for it to happen. You are walking toward the manifestation that has already been decreed by your inner world. And yes, there will be days when the old thoughts try to pull you back, when the weight of past conditioning presses upon your mind. But remember, you are not your past. You are not bound to repeat what has been. You are free. Every moment is a fresh canvas. Every breath is an opportunity to assume something new. Persist. Do not let the outer world tell you what is possible. Let your inner conviction speak louder than the noise of the world. You have been given dominion over your life, not because of your effort, but because of your nature. You are divine consciousness individualized. There is no power outside of your own consciousness. No fate, no destiny, no external authority can override the power that lies within you. The only thing required is your willingness to believe, not in wishful thinking, but in deliberate, sustained assumption. To dwell in the end is to enter into the feeling of the wish already fulfilled. It is to move your attention away from what is and to rest it firmly upon what you desire to be. And the moment you do this, a shift occurs. It may be invisible at first, subtle, unspoken, but it is a shift in the foundation of your being. And the world must follow. Let your desire be holy, let it be sacred. Do not judge it by the standards of others. Do not question whether you are worthy of it. You are. The very desire you feel is evidence that its fulfillment already exists. You would not hunger unless the food already existed. You would not thirst unless the water already was. So too with your desire. It comes because its fulfillment is present within your own consciousness. It is calling you to a higher state, to a greater expression of your true self. Do not suppress it. Embrace it. Live from it. You are not becoming, you are revealing. What you assume is not a fiction you hope to believe in someday. It is the truth that has been hidden beneath layers of doubt, fear, and forgetfulness. To assume is to remember, to step into the awareness of your divine identity, and in this remembrance you reclaim your world. You walk into rooms with authority. You move through life not as one who begs, but as one who declares. For what you declare within will soon echo without. There is a power in stillness, in quiet, unseen moments of inner certainty. Do not underestimate the silence. When you sit in the silence of your imagination and assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are doing more than visualizing. You are planting reality. The outer world moves because the inner world has spoken. You do not need to beg for change. You command it by changing your inner state. And you do not command with force, but with assumption, with the gentle, unwavering knowing that it is already done. Allow yourself to feel it now. Not tomorrow, not once you see the evidence. Now. Feel what it would feel like if your desire were fulfilled. Let that feeling wash over you. Let it saturate your mind, your body, your spirit. Let it become your natural dwelling place. And the more you return to it, the more familiar it becomes. Until one day, you no longer feel like you are imagining it. You feel like you are remembering it. That is when the world begins to bend. And you will notice something extraordinary. The world around you will shift in response. People will say different things. Opportunities will arise where none existed before. Obstacles will dissolve, not because you fought them, but because you outgrew them. You rose in consciousness, and the outer world had no choice but to reflect the inner elevation. You did not force it. You became it. Every desire carries its own fulfillment. The moment you accept the desire as yours, you have already received it in seed form. Now it is your task to nurture it with belief, to feed it with imagination, to water it with emotion, and to shield it from the weeds of doubt. Guard your mind as you would guard a sacred treasure, for it is from your mind that all things are born. Live now as the person who has received. Speak now as the one who knows it is done. act now, not in desperation, but in faith. And when you forget, because you will, from time to time, gently return. Return to the end, return to the state of fulfillment. That is the center of your being. That is your home. You do not need permission to believe in a greater life. You do not need anyone's agreement. You only need your own consent. The moment you agree within, the world will begin to reflect that agreement. And it does not matter how long you have believed otherwise. A new assumption, truly accepted, has the power to dissolve the effects of a lifetime of disbelief. This is the miracle of consciousness. It is never bound by time. One new assumption can redeem years of doubt. One moment of inner certainty can alter the course of your entire existence. That is the gift you have been given. The power to change the world by changing your mind. So dwell in the end. Not as a visitor, but as a resident. Let the state of your desire become so natural, so familiar, that it feels strange to imagine life without it. And as you continue to assume, to feel, to live from the end, you will notice that life becomes more effortless, more joyful, more miraculous. Because you are no longer chasing what you desire, you are embodying it. And what you embody must come into form. That is the law, that is the truth. You are always in a state. You may not have called it that before, but every moment of your life you are dwelling in a particular state of consciousness. These states are not merely emotions or moods, they are entire realities. Entire outcomes, patterns, and possibilities are contained within each state. You cannot experience what is not in the state you occupy. If you are in the state of lack, the world will reflect lack. If you are in the state of abundance, then your life becomes a mirror of abundance. It does not matter what the world says is happening. What matters is the state you are in while you observe it. Because it is not the world that is doing something to you, it is you, through your state shaping the world. Your consciousness is infinite. You can shift from one state to another as easily as you change your thoughts. But many remain in states that no longer serve them because they continue to believe the lie that circumstances are fixed, that personality is fixed, that fate is final. Nothing is fixed. The only thing that appears permanent is what you continue to give attention to. If you shift your attention, if you redirect your focus inward and change your assumption, then all things must follow. But the change must be internal first. You cannot manipulate the outer world into changing. You must become the version of you who no longer needs the change, because the change has already occurred in consciousness. And when you do this consistently, a quiet confidence grows in you. Not the confidence that comes from ego or superiority, but the divine confidence that knows who it is and needs no permission to exist. This confidence does not waver when things seem slow. It does not shrink when the outer world looks unchanged. It is rooted in the truth that what has been accepted in imagination is already real. You do not wait for proof, you become the proof. And so you begin to think from the end. You begin to walk as the one who already possesses, already knows, already is. And this is not about pretending, it is about remembering your true identity, the one that is not swayed by circumstances, not limited by appearances. The more you return to the state of the wish fulfilled, the more natural it becomes, until eventually you no longer even call it a wish. It is simply your way of being. Every person, every situation, every condition you meet is an outpicturing of your state. You do not have to change them. You only need to change your own self-concept. What do you believe to be true about yourself, about life, about others? These are the silent assumptions that create your experience, and they are yours to revise. If you have believed something disempowering, you can believe differently now. You can rise into a new state, and the former things will fall away like shadows at sunrise. They have no life of their own. They only live through your focus. And so choose deliberately, choose boldly, choose with the authority of one who knows that life does not happen to them, it happens through them. And do not be afraid to assume greatly. Let your vision expand, let your desires be vast, not because they will make you more, but because they already reflect the more that you are. Your desires are not random, they are revelations of your potential, they are messages from the higher self, showing you what you are capable of embodying. Do not minimize them, do not explain them away, embrace them, live into them. It is your inner speech that determines the outcome. The conversations you have with yourself are more powerful than any action you can take. For what you consistently say to yourself becomes the mold through which your reality is poured. Speak to yourself as one who is already victorious. Declare to yourself that it is done. Refuse to argue for your limitations. Do not indulge in self-pity or replay old narratives of failure. They may feel familiar, but they are not true. What is true is what you decide now. Your assumptions need not be logical. They only need to be accepted. There is no virtue in trying to figure out how the impossible becomes possible. The greater wisdom is in knowing that what you assume and persist in must become fact. You do not have to bend the world to your will. You only need to bend your will to a new assumption. And in doing so, you bend the world without effort. For the outer world is always obedient to the inner. And as you begin to see evidence of your new state, remain humble. Not the humility of shrinking, but the humility of understanding that you did not achieve this through force. You allowed it by aligning with your higher self. You aligned with truth, and truth always manifests itself. The old life begins to dissolve, and the new life emerges, not because you earned it, but because you finally assumed it. You no longer ask, will it happen? You declare, it is happening, it is now, it is done. You must become one with the desire. There is no separation between you and that which you want, except for your own belief in the separation. The moment you stop desiring from a place of lack and begin to assume from a place of possession, you close the gap. The wish fulfilled is not something you chase, it is something you dwell in. Feel the joy now. Feel the peace now. Let it live in your body. Let it breathe through your words. Let it inform every action, every choice, every moment. For you are not becoming, you are remembering. You are realigning. What you seek is seeking you. What you imagine with love, with conviction, with confidence, must return to you in form. The process is not personal, it is principle. It does not reward some and withhold from others. It simply reflects. The world is a mirror, and you are the face. What you show it, it returns. So show it your strength, show it your wholeness, show it your worth. And when the moment comes, and it will, when your world has changed, when the thing you once imagined now stands before you in full detail, you will smile, not in surprise, but in recognition. You will know it not as a stranger, but as something familiar. For you saw it first within. You entertained it. You embraced it. You became it. And now it has become you. This is the way of all creation. Nothing begins on the outside. All things begin within. And so long as you hold fast to the state of the wish fulfilled, so long as you continue to imagine from the end, the world cannot help but conform. It must. It always does. There is no other law. There is no other truth. Remain faithful, then, to the vision within you. Return to it when doubts arise. Reaffirm it when the senses contradict it. Rejoice in it even before it appears, and let your faith be active, not passive. Let it be the daily assumption that your world is already new, already radiant, already whole. Because it is. And you, being one with the power that made all things, have the authority to speak it so. And so, Let us now rest in the awareness that all we have ever sought already lives within us. The power to assume, to feel, to believe. This is the true creative force. You need not look to the world to give you signs, for you are the sign. You are the cause. As you dwell in the end, you rewrite your story, not through striving, but through silent knowing. You no longer chase the dream. You awaken to the truth that you are the dreamer, and the dream is yours to shape. Remain faithful to the unseen. Persist in the assumption. Feel it real. For the moment you do, the world will bend to match it. This is the secret of life. This is the mystery revealed. All is within, all is now, all is you. You are the dreamer of your life, and within the infinite possibilities of your consciousness, countless parallel realities unfold, waiting for you to choose the one that reflects the deepest desires of your heart. In every moment, you stand at the crossroads of infinite versions of yourself, each one existing simultaneously, each reality offering a reflection of your assumptions, beliefs, and state of mind. Understand this. The world you see around you is not a fixed, static structure. It is a malleable, fluid manifestation of your inner state. The circumstances, the people, the situations all reflect the reality you are dwelling in. And just as easily as you can change your mind about anything, you can shift into a new reality where all things align with your highest vision. The key lies in the recognition that you are not bound by the physical world. What you see, what you touch, what you experience is but the external expression of an internal state of being. When you change the way you feel, when you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you step into a parallel reality where that wish has already been realized. Imagine for a moment that the life you dream of already exists. It is not a far-off future, a distant possibility. It is a present reality, one that you can move into by aligning your consciousness with it. The reality you seek is not out there, waiting for you to find it. It is within you, waiting for you to awaken to it. To shift, you must first let go of the belief that you are confined to this present moment or this current set of circumstances. Release the notion that this is all there is. The present moment is simply the result of past assumptions. Your future, your next reality, is already on the horizon, and all that is required of you is to shift your focus and claim it. You shift into a new reality, not by force or struggle, but by entering a state of knowing. It is a state of assumption, a state of belief in the unseen. You no longer need to wait for things to change on the outside. As you change your inner world, your thoughts, your feelings, your assumptions, you will naturally move into the parallel reality that matches your new internal state. The only thing standing between you and the reality you desire is your willingness to believe in it fully, to assume that it already exists, to walk as though it has already happened, to live in the end. When you live in the end, the universe has no choice but to conform to your assumption. The parallel reality you seek will unfold before you as if it had always been there, waiting for you to step into it. So begin now. Let go of any doubt, any fear, any thought that contradicts the reality you wish to experience. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and move as if it is already yours. In this moment, you are not bound by the past or the present. You are free to choose the reality you wish to inhabit. And the moment you make that choice, the doors to your new world swing wide open. Step through them. You are the creator, and all things are possible to you. In the vast expanse of your inner world, there are no limits. You have always been the architect of your experience, shaping it with the brushstrokes of your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. You are the conscious creator of your reality, and the world you see is simply a reflection of what you have assumed to be true. If you desire change, you do not need to wait for the world to change first. No, you must first change your assumptions, your perception of yourself in the world. And in doing so, you will shift into a parallel reality that reflects your new beliefs. Every moment of your life is a doorway to a new possibility. Your perception of what is possible determines your reality. What you believe to be true, you experience. This is not a random or haphazard occurrence, but a law that governs the very fabric of existence. If you desire a new experience, a new reality, you must first change the internal world, the world of your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Once you do, the external world will follow suit. But many find themselves trapped in the illusion that their reality is fixed, that it is determined by forces outside of themselves. They believe they are subject to the circumstances of the world, to the people around them, to time and space. They look at their current situation and assume it to be their fate, unable to imagine that another reality, one that is more aligned with their deepest desires, exists. This is where the power of assumption comes into play. Assumption is the key that unlocks the door to a new world. It is the act of assuming that the thing you desire is already true. It is not a wish, nor a hope, nor a distant dream. It is a knowing. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you walk through the world as if your desire has already manifested, you are shifting into a parallel reality where that desire is already a fact. But how can this be? How can you step into a reality that is not yet apparent in the physical world? The answer lies in the nature of consciousness. Everything you experience in the physical world is a projection of your consciousness. Your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs. They create your reality. The world outside of you is not separate from you. It is a mirror reflecting your inner state. Therefore, if you desire to shift into a new reality, you must first shift your consciousness. You must become the person who already has what you desire. You must live in the end as if the thing you want is already yours. When you assume the end state of your desire, the universe must conform to it. It has no other choice. The law of assumption operates universally and indiscriminately. It does not care whether your desire seems realistic or far-fetched. It does not care whether your current circumstances suggest otherwise. It is simply the law, and it works with absolute precision. The moment you begin to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are planting a seed in your consciousness. Just as a seed in the soil grows and eventually produces fruit, so too will your assumption grow and eventually manifest in your external world. The seed of your desire, once planted in the fertile soil of your imagination, will begin to take root and manifest itself in the physical world. And it will do so in ways that are beyond your conscious understanding, for the universe knows exactly how to bring your desire into being. Now, some may ask, but how do I shift into a reality where my desires are already fulfilled when the present moment seems to contradict everything I want? The answer lies in the power of imagination. Imagination is the bridge between the unseen and the seen, the known and the unknown. Through imagination, you have the power to transcend the limitations of time and space. You are not bound by the present moment. You are free to enter any reality you choose, simply by directing your imagination toward it. You see, the present moment is only a snapshot of your past assumptions. It is not the end of the story. It is merely a reflection of what you have believed in the past. The future, the next moment, is not predetermined. It is a vast field of potentiality, ready to be shaped by the thoughts, feelings, and assumptions you hold in this moment. The key to shifting into a new reality is to no longer identify with the present circumstances that seem to bind you. The moment you let go of the belief that your current situation is fixed, that it defines who you are and what you can have, you open yourself to the possibility of a new reality. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, when you step into the reality you desire with full conviction, you are not pretending. You are not forcing something to happen that doesn't already exist. You are simply tuning into the frequency of that reality, aligning your consciousness with it. And when you do this, the external world must follow. It cannot resist the power of your assumption. You may wonder, but how long does it take for my new reality to manifest? The answer is simple. As long as it takes for you to fully assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and sustain that assumption without wavering. Time is a reflection of your beliefs, and as you change your inner state, time will bend and shift to accommodate your new reality. So the moment you shift your assumptions, the moment you fully step into the reality of your desires, the physical world will begin to reflect that new assumption. But the key is persistence. You must remain true to your assumption no matter what the external world tells you. It may take time for the physical world to align with your inner state, but you must trust that it is already done. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, it is done. There is no need to check or question it. Your desires are already on their way to you, and all you must do is remain faithful to the assumption that they are yours. You see, you are not bound by the physical limitations of time, space, or circumstance. The world you experience is a direct reflection of your consciousness, and just as easily as you can shift your focus from one thought to another, you can shift your entire reality. The key to this shift lies in your ability to believe in the unseen, to live in the end, and to trust that the universe is always working in your favor, aligning your external world with the assumptions you hold within. When you fully embrace this truth, when you understand that you are the creator of your reality, you will begin to see the world differently. No longer will you feel at the mercy of the external world. No longer will you believe that your circumstances are unchangeable. Instead, you will see the world as it truly is, a reflection of your inner world, a mirror that shows you who you are and what you believe. And as you begin to consciously choose the realities you wish to experience, you will find that the world becomes more and more responsive to your inner state. Doors will open, opportunities will arise, and people will show up who align with your new assumptions. Your external world will shift to match the new story you are telling yourself. And with each shift, you will feel more and more empowered, more in control of your experience, and more deeply connected to the limitless potential within you. As you aware that your current situation, do not be deceived by what you see. Do not let the present moment convince you that your desires are out of reach. Know that the reality you seek is already here, waiting for you to step into it. You are not bound by your past. You are not limited by your present. You are free to move into any reality you choose. The key to that shift is in your hands, and it is already at work within you. Trust in your power, trust in your ability to shift, and most of all, trust in the truth that the reality you desire is already yours, just waiting for you to awaken to it. The moment you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you will step into a new world, one where all things are possible, where your dreams are already real, and where you are the conscious creator of your experience. You are not a passive observer in this world, you are an active participant, the central creator of the reality you experience. Every thought, every belief, every assumption you hold is a thread in the vast tapestry of your existence. There is no need to wait for the external world to change first. It will always follow the lead of your internal world. The secret is in understanding that the outer world is but a reflection of what you are internally. If you desire a different reality, all you need to do is adjust your inner vision, change your state of being, and the world will shift to match it. You may be wondering, how can this be true? How can simply changing my inner world lead to a tangible shift in my outer circumstances? The truth is simple. The law of assumption is absolute. The law does not distinguish between what is imagined and what is real, between what has already manifested and what is yet to appear in the physical world. The law operates on the premise that your assumptions create your reality, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. Your imagination is your tool, your means of creating and shifting realities. The power lies in your ability to enter into the feeling of your desire being fulfilled and to remain in that state. Imagination is not merely a tool for daydreaming, it is a powerful creative force. Through it, you can experience the world you wish to inhabit, The moment you immerse yourself in the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you are no longer tied to the present moment or its limitation. You transcend time and space, shifting to a parallel reality where your desire is already realized. When you truly understand this, you begin to realize that the world is not something that happens to you, it is something that happens because of you. Every experience, every encounter, every circumstance is a result of your inner state. This is why when you change your assumptions, your beliefs, and your internal narrative, the world must change with it. The universe is a mirror, reflecting back to you what you believe to be true. Consider for a moment that your current life, your current reality, is merely the result of past assumptions. The life you are living today is a manifestation of the thoughts, beliefs, and emotions you have held in the past. And just as easily as you can choose to think a new thought or adopt a new belief, you can shift into a new reality. The power lies in your ability to let go of the past and step into the new. Your future is not fixed. It is a vast field of potentiality, ready to be shaped by the thoughts, emotions, and assumptions you hold in this very moment. The key to shifting into a parallel reality is to cease identifying with the present moment. Stop looking at the external world and thinking that it defines you or limits you. Stop believing that your circumstances are permanent or that they dictate your future. The external world is fluid, malleable, and ever-changing, shaped by your inner world. You are not stuck in your current situation. You are free to move, to shift, to step into a new version of yourself at any time. To shift into a new reality, you must first embrace the concept that all realities exist simultaneously. The reality you are experiencing now is just one of many possible realities. Each thought, each belief, each assumption you hold brings you into alignment with a specific version of reality. Your current reality is simply a reflection of the state of mind you were in when it was created. But as you change your state, as you shift your assumptions, you are no longer bound to that version of reality. You can move freely between realities, choosing the one that best reflects the desires of your heart. And here lies the true magic. You don't need to change the external world to bring about the shift you desire. The shift happens within you. It begins in your mind, in your heart, in your consciousness. The moment you shift your assumptions, the world begins to rearrange itself around you. People, events, circumstances, they will all align with your new state of being. The world cannot help but reflect what is held in your consciousness. Let go of the notion that you must fight or struggle to change your reality. The act of struggle only perpetuates the belief that change is hard, that your desires are out of reach. Instead, allow the reality you want to emerge naturally by assuming the state of the wish fulfilled. This is not about forcing things to happen, it is about allowing them to happen. It is about aligning your consciousness with the reality that already exists, in the unseen, the reality that you have already created in your imagination. When you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you step into a parallel reality where that wish is already true. You are not trying to make it happen, you are simply aligning yourself with the version of yourself who already has what you desire. This alignment is not a matter of time or effort, it is a matter of belief. When you believe fully in the reality you wish to experience, it must come into being. The moment you feel that it is already yours, it begins to unfold before you. But the journey does not end once you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. It is not a one-time act, it is a way of living. You must remain in the state of assumption even when the external world appears to contradict your desires. The external world is simply a reflection of past assumptions, and as you change your assumptions, the world must follow. But it will take time for the external to shift and align with your inner state. Your job is to remain faithful to the assumption that your desire is already realized, to continue living as if it is already so, no matter what your senses may tell you. It is in this persistence, this unwavering belief, that the magic happens. You see, the universe responds to your faith in your assumption. It does not matter if the current circumstances appear contrary to your desires. The universe does not operate on the basis of current facts. It operates on the basis of your assumptions. If you continue to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, your external world will eventually reflect that assumption. Do not allow the physical evidence to sway you from your course. The world may appear unchanged, but know that it is shifting beneath the surface. The moment you assume the feeling of your desire fulfilled, the universe begins to rearrange itself to bring your assumption into being. It may take time for this to manifest in your physical world, but the inner shift has already occurred. It is already done in the realm of consciousness, and it will unfold in the physical world in its perfect time and manner. When you fully embrace this truth, when you understand that your reality is malleable and that you have the power to shape it through your assumptions, you will begin to live with a sense of freedom and confidence. No longer will you feel at the mercy of the external world. No longer will you feel that your circumstances define you. And instead you will know that you are the creator of your experience, that you have the power to shift into any reality you desire simply by adjusting your consciousness. You are not bound by the past, by your current circumstances, or by the limitations of time and space. You are free to move between realities, free to shift into the version of yourself who already has what you desire. All you need to do is believe, assume, and live in the end. The rest will follow. And as you begin to embrace this truth, as you step into the reality of your desires, you will find that the world becomes more and more responsive to your inner state. The people, the situations, the circumstances, everything will begin to align with your assumptions. The world will reflect back to you the reality you have created in your consciousness. And with each shift, you will grow in your understanding of your true power as the creator of your reality. As you continue to align your consciousness with the reality you desire, you will notice subtle shifts taking place within your experience. These shifts may begin small, appearing as little synchronicities, coincidences, or signs that the universe is rearranging itself to match your new assumptions. Trust in these signs, for they are evidence that you are on the right path. The universe does not operate in a linear fashion, and your manifestation does not follow a fixed timeline. But know this, every moment you stay true to your assumption, you are getting closer to the full realization of your desire. The process of exemplification is often easy to become discouraged when the external world does not immediately reflect your new inner state. You may look at your current circumstances and wonder if anything is really changing. It's important to understand that the process of shifting realities is like planting a seed. You do not see the seed sprout immediately, but you know that the process is happening beneath the surface. With time and consistent nurturing, the seed will grow, and the reality you are assuming will begin to unfold in the world around you. Do not let doubt or impatience deter you. Your assumption is the most powerful force you possess. When you hold a strong and unwavering belief in the reality you wish to experience, the external world must conform to it. It is inevitable. The law of assumption is unfailing. The universe is always working with you, responding to the frequency of your thoughts and beliefs. That's the natural effect of many wish fulfillment. And the moment you believe fully in the reality you desire, that reality will begin to materialize in ways that are beyond your conscious understanding. This is where the true power of imagination comes in. Imagination is not mere fantasy. It is the creative force that shapes your world. When you imagine yourself living in the reality you desire, you are not simply daydreaming or wishing for something that is out of reach. You are tapping into the potential of the universe, aligning your inner state with the parallel reality where your desires are already fulfilled. Your imagination is the vehicle that takes you into this new reality, and it is through the power of your imagination that you can experience all the richness and beauty of the life you have created in your mind. And as you continue to immerse yourself in this imagined reality, you will find that your external world starts to shift. People will begin to show up in your life who reflect your new assumptions. Opportunities will appear, seemingly out of nowhere, to align with the reality you have assumed. Circumstances that once seemed impossible or out of reach will suddenly present themselves as natural, inevitable, and even effortless. The key to this is that you are no longer fighting against the flow of life, but flowing with it. You are no longer resisting the unfolding of your desires. You are allowing them to manifest naturally, trusting that the universe is working with you every step of the way. At times, you may encounter moments of doubt or fear. You may question whether the reality you desire is truly possible for you. This is simply the mind's way of trying to protect itself, of holding on to old beliefs and assumptions. When this happens, gently remind yourself that your assumptions are what create your reality. The moment you choose to shift your focus and reaffirm the truth of your desired reality, you shift your world. The world outside of you cannot hold on to the old assumptions once you choose to embrace a new belief. The power of your consciousness is far greater than anything that might seem to stand in your way. It's crucial to remember that the world outside of you is always changing in response to your inner state. Your thoughts, your feelings, and your beliefs are the driving force behind everything you experience. If you want to see a change in your external world, you must first change within. The process is not about forcing things to happen. It is about stepping into the feeling of your desire already fulfilled. It is a state of being, not doing. You are not waiting for the external world to change to match your desire. You are simply choosing to live as though it has already happened, fully embodying the reality you wish to experience. Your emotions play a key role in this process. When you can cultivate the feeling of joy, gratitude, love, and fulfillment as though your desires have already been realized, you are aligning yourself with the vibration of that reality. Emotions are energy in motion, and they carry a frequency that attracts like energy. When you feel good, when you feel the emotions of your desires already being fulfilled, you are sending out a signal to the universe that aligns with the reality you wish to experience. The stronger and more consistent the emotion, the more magnetic it becomes, pulling that desired reality towards you. It is important to remember that your thoughts and beliefs are not just ideas floating around in your mind. They are powerful forces that shape your reality. Your inner world is not something that can be ignored or dismissed. What you hold in your mind becomes your experience. If you are constantly focused on what you don't have or what you fear, you will continue to attract more of the same. However, when you focus on what you desire, when you hold the image of your fulfilled wish in your mind, you are training your consciousness to move in the direction of that reality. You are not waiting for something to happen, you are making it happen. The moment you step into the consciousness of the reality you desire, you are already there. The shift happens in an instant. It is your ability to hold that state of being, to persist in the assumption of your wish fulfilled, that determines how quickly your external reality will shift to match it. In this process, patience is not about waiting for something to happen in the future. It is about maintaining your state of belief and trust in the unseen. You are not waiting for your desires to be given to you. You are simply allowing them to unfold, trusting that everything you need is already on its way to you. The more you focus on the feeling of having what you desire, the less you will feel the need to check or doubt whether it is coming. You will know it is already yours. Your reality is not separate from you, it is an extension of you. You are the creator, and the world is your canvas. Every thought you think, every assumption you make, paints a stroke on that canvas. If you are not satisfied with the picture you see, change your assumptions, change your focus, and begin painting a new one. The brush is in your hands, and you are the artist of your experience. The more you practice this, the more natural it will become. You will begin to see that the external world is not something you have to fight against or change with force. It is something you simply need to align with by assuming the feeling of your desires already fulfilled. When you do this, you will find that life begins to flow effortlessly, and the realities you once thought were distant and impossible will unfold before you as if they were always meant to be. You are not bound by the past, you are not bound by the present, you are free to step into any reality you choose. The power to shift is always within you, and it is always available to you. You need only to assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and the world will rearrange itself to match the state of being you have chosen. Trust in this power and know that the reality you desire is already on its way to you. The shift is happening now. In the end, remember that the power to shape your reality lies within you. You are not a passive participant in the unfolding of your life, but the conscious creator of it. Every thought, belief, and assumption you hold is a thread that weaves the fabric of your experience. The moment you shift your assumptions, you shift into a new reality, one where your desires are already fulfilled. It is not the external world that dictates your experience, but your inner state, your consciousness, that shapes the reality you live in. The law of assumption is absolute and unwavering. When you fully embrace the belief that your desires are already yours, the universe must respond to this assumption. It may take time for the physical world to reflect your inner state, but trust that it is already in motion. The key is persistence. Continuing to live as though your desires have already manifested without doubt or hesitation.